Queen Bee Beyoncé is a fraud on drugs who's always been controlled by a man. That's what I'm going to be talking about in this video, because Beyoncé is very much seen as, like, you know, who run the world girls, the matriarch of female empowerment and feminism. And I even quoted in one of her songs recently, which one was it? I can't remember which one it was, where it was all like, we don't need a man, I don't need a man, I just need my girls, we just need you for this, da 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 da. Okay, Beyoncé, but here's the thing. Looks like Homegirl has always been controlled by men anyway. And I find that completely ironic. I find it ironic and I find it annoying, because in this society today, this is what always happens, okay? These people in the entertainment industry, as we like to call it over here, Hollyweird, sell us these ideas that we buy into. They lie to us in their music. They represent lifestyles that they don't even actually live. We fall in love with that character. We then emulate that behavior, when in reality, they're not even living like that. They ain't even living like that. Now, to break this all down, I'm gonna just take a little backtrack for you guys, right? First of all, Beyonce's career. You guys can go and do the research for yourself. You guys already know. I come here, I do my research, and I say what I gotta say. If you want to do the research, this isn't a research channel. You know what I mean? Go and find your research. Go and do that if you need to do that, right? But from my research, I found that, you know, when Beyonce's career started out, it started out that her father was the one managing her and Destiny's Child, and there's a lot to do with that. We've already spoken on this channel, by the way. If you guys are new to my channel, just so you know, like, majority of my videos, probably like the first 600 videos, were all about the entertainment industry, the media, all that type of stuff. So anyway, I've done videos talking about Beyonce and all of that before, but I didn't know the drug thing has taken it to the next level. So he used to control them, blah 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 blah. And obviously I touched on in there how he, you know, purposefully kind of put her ahead of like the other girls. And it's really interesting how he chose for her name to be Beyonce, but he made the other girls who had non-English names change their names to use their English names, which I find very interesting. Seems like he wanted her to be like the unique one. He was super duper duper controlling with her. This is very well known. And what ended up happening is she ended up deciding no longer to be managed by him as she went on into her career. And then she ended up being kind of not managed, but I guess managed by Jay-Z. Now, here's a few pieces of information that people don't know. First things first is that so Jay-Z is pretty much the reason Beyonce has a career at this stage, because he, from the age, now people say, and Jay-Z and Beyonce say, that they met when she was 18. Now, let's first of all, they actually met when she was 16. We're going to talk about that in a second. Let's just hypothesize if they did meet at 18. That means he would have been, just checking my notes, 30, right? He would have been 30. So this is the perfect opportunity for somebody to take advantage of somebody's youth, mold them into the type of person that they want. Now, it's interesting because Jay-Z was also good buddies in cahoots with R. Kelly and involved with Aaliyah and all that type of stuff as well. So it looks like it's not just R. Kelly who was back there choosing young, talented women to get into a relationship with, essentially to build up in career and then control. So that happened. And actually, Jay-Z is known to have done his shared album with R. Kelly after everything came out about what was happening with Aaliyah, which we already know that the Aaliyah situation is crazy because everybody knew what was happening, that he was impregnating and trying to marry a 15-year-old, but ain't nobody doing nothing. Everybody knew that he was bringing all these young women, these underage women, into the studio where he had a bed in the studio like a freaking weirdo, right? But anybody do nothing about it, right? So the same thing with Beyonce, I feel, is what happened as well. So I actually feel like when Beyonce and Jay-Z, like Beyonce, I actually would envision that what probably would have happened is Beyonce chose Jay-Z then because she's like, yeah, I'm like, my dad's so controlling and you're like already in the industry. And that's always the thing that they use, right? These men is that, and by the way, guys, I'm not against men. Can we just say that? I'm really not against men. I'm just talking about these two men in particular in the industry. These types of men in the entertainment industry. I'm going to make that abundantly clear because I have way more good things to say about men than I do bad things. Way more good things. Just clarifying. So yeah, so anyways, in the end, what was I saying before? Yeah, so this is what attracts these young women to these guys, because they want to be in the industry, right? The same like today, every woman is like, if you could be who's your idol, what woman would you be? Beyonce. So imagine if you're a guy in the entertainment industry and you meet a 15-year-old, 14-year-old girl, right, doing all her TikTok dances and everything, and this guy's like, hey, come studio, I can turn you into the next Beyonce. So that type of thing, right? So I believe that that's how they came together. She was young and naive, because she looks so naive. Like when I look back at Beyonce at 18, like this girl, she looks so aloof. Like I don't know. She looks so just aloof and like naive and just ignorant, you know, because like I'm comparing it to what I was like at 18, right? Looking at how she conducted herself with like footage of her when she was that age. So anyway, he takes her in and then they become this couple. Now, as time has gone on, Beyonce has, although her success has increased, her her perceived mental health, as far as how I can see it, seems to be deteriorating, because she's looking drugged up. She's started looking drugged up, out of it, aloof. And again, guys, here's the other thing. This is why this whole Solange thing happened, because Solange, you guys remember, I don't know if you guys remember that whole thing where she like got into the fight. I think she like hit Jay-Z in the lift. This is when he cheated. So I think after the whole cheating scenario, somebody else was saying that I saw a video of today, that they think that's what really started again the further downfall of Beyonce. Now, obviously, Beyonce built herself up to a point. Now, this is what always happens in the entertainment industry, is you build yourself up to a point where you don't now need these people who are controlling you. So maybe, let's hypothesize that she has been trying to get away from Jay-Z, right? Because that's what a lot of people think. Even Beyonce's mum is now, you know, seeming more concerned. There's even a whole hashtag like free Beyonce movement happening now, right? Because now the fans are that concerned, because it seems that she's been taking drugs, and she's even come out and admitted that she's been taking drugs. So it's just to say, and that, and funnily enough, let's come back to that. It's also being hypothesized that Jay-Z is the one getting her who started her on the drugs as a form of controlling her, if you see what I'm saying, which is again something that we know happens, because that's what happened with Britney Spears, which is probably one of the longest series I have on this channel, because her father was feeding her lithium, as we know, up until the time even she was in 2019, when she was doing her Las Vegas residency, and even that she was still able to perform. But other than that, she even says, because she said when she was a judge on I think it's America's Got Talent or American X Factor, I'm not really sure which one, I can't remember which one it was that she was a judge on, that she was out of it the whole time because she was on drugs. So this is a technique that's used, and I also think it's a technique that a lot of them use to control these women. They'll introduce them to these drugs because maybe with some other idea in mind, like it will help you with this or blah 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 blah, but realistically they can use it to keep control over them, because obviously the drugs have control over them, etc etc. So why am I even talking about this? Also, now before we even get to that, I don't know why I started karate chopping randomly. Before we get to that, what was I going to say right now? 16. So actually, it turns out that they actually met when Beyonce was 16 and Jay-Z was 28. So take from that what you will. I think it's weird. It's like so many of these celebrities, right, that we know today. I did this whole video about Lil Wayne, guys, recently. If you haven't checked that out, you should watch it, right? And I was talking about how it's like Lil Wayne gave his soul to the devil at like age 8 years old, because of Birdman, who was hanging around and bringing around this kid and paying women to have sex with this child. Like, it's just, they do all this weird stuff, guys. I'm telling you, when Satan wants to get you, he'll send you these kinds of people to catch you in your weak, vulnerable moments. Which, when are we the most weak and vulnerable? As children, right? Why am I saying all of this? I'm saying all of this to say the point that I said in the very beginning, which is that we got to wake up to this world that we live in, right? We live in a society where people will look at somebody like me and the videos I make and say, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I just want to be cool. I just want to be different. I just want to feel like a misfit over here. Like, that's what people will say, right? When I'm actually trying to tell you guys the truth, so that we can avoid children getting into these situations, so you can avoid becoming a victim to the entertainment industry. Meanwhile, you're believing the lies, right? So Beyonce, who's singing, and you guys go and check it out. I've done lyric reviews of a couple of her songs now. They're really funny, guys. I would actually watch them because they're actually really, really fun times, those videos. Particularly the Church Girl one. Watch the Church Girl breakdown, and also watch the Cuff It one as well. And in these songs, she's also talking about like me and my girls and out partying, and we not need men, and this. They're at the forefront of these movements like feminism, where we're like, oh, we don't want to be, we're like with the patriarchy, we don't want to be controlled by men, blah 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 blah. But the people who are representing it are the most controlled by the men. That's my point. That's literally my point. The people who are controlling these, the people who are you are looking at as inspiration, right? And it's poisoning us as women, right? Because then we go and we don't have respect for men, we don't respect them, we think, oh, I'm this and this, right? Causes destruction in your life, causes destruction in their life. Everybody's in destruction, and who wins? The industry, Hollywood, and these evil, weird, twisted people. because we all look stupid, and you'd rather trust in them even though the evidence is in your face. Like, to me, I don't understand why people, like with Britney Spears, I don't understand why people couldn't see what was really happening, because people would rather believe the parents with their fake little act of like, oh, was just worried about her, blah blah blah. But look at what's actually happening. Look at the things, look at the facts, look at the figures of what's actually going on, and you will see these things for yourself. Look at the state of Beyoncé. Look at how her career started. The information is there. This isn't conspiracy theory. That's why I used to have conspiracy theories written in my banner, and I removed that because I was like, I ain't speaking conspiracies, I'm speaking the truth. You just don't want to hear it. You would just rather be a fool and believe in what these people are showing you and consume all of that and put your money into that and be going to spend all this money to go and see Beyonce, who's being drugged and controlled and probably is living unhappily. Do you guys see what I'm saying? So yeah, and so that's why I feel like I just had to say something about this, because I'm just sick of the feminism, sick of the beehive, like on all this, like, oh, with female empowerment nonsense. You're delusional, you're deluded, you're brainwashed, you're programmed, my friend, because that's not what's going on here. And yes, there are many women out there who are thriving, and I am all for, you know, women having equal rights and everything, and I don't necessarily see an issue with a man managing a woman if that's a dynamic that works. Go for it, do you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, look at how extreme this is, right? How extremely far away this is from the message that's being portrayed, and look what message we believe that message. And it really irritates me how people are always so shocked, like, oh my gosh, we didn't know Jay-Z was controlling Beyonce. Yeah, because you don't want to know, because you don't seek the truth, because you just believe the lies, you believe the first thing that's told to you. And then when the people try and tell you that, when people try and throw out the idea that, you know, maybe we should look into this, or maybe we should maybe we should maybe we should listen to the people, or consider the thoughts of the people who are saying that what you're seeing isn't what you're seeing. You don't want to do none of that. And that's why I always say to you guys that in life, one of the biggest pieces of advice I have, and I actually gave this in one of my videos, that's like 10 ways to like win in 2023. I think I did that video, right? One of the pieces of advice I always give to people is I say, make sure you know you believe what you believe. As in, make sure what you believe, you know why you believe it and where that belief comes from. Because what you believe is going to affect what you think, it's going to affect what you do, and it's going to affect the life you have, and it's going to affect your success. So if life's a game, then let's play to win. God bless you all, and I'll see you in my next one.